when the famous scholar and poet Tina Turner sang, "We don't need another hero." She was talking about this film, The New Mutants. Hi, welcome to Marcus Loves Movies with me, Marcus Lee. This is my review of The New Mutants, which is directed by Josh Boone. The film stars Maisie Williams, Anya Taylor-Joy, Alice Braga, and Blue Hunt, and it's a bit of an origin story about X-Men. Now, this is the 13th and final film in the X-Men film franchise, to which I'm sure we're all saying, thank goodness for that. It's been a long time. It's about time they stopped, just like Tina Turner sang at the start. This is an origin story. It's about young adult, late teenage aged mutants who they've had to leave home because they've discovered the fact they've got mutant powers like the X-Men do, and they're at that transitional stage of life where they're figuring out, what does this mean for me? How do I manage my powers without blowing up the world because I'm a teenager and I get annoyed at everything? So they've all ended up living in this it's like this disused hospital-style facility. There's only 5 of them, by the way, and they live in this big facility, and they're figuring out, what do I do? How do I control my powers? I've got a finger that does that pew when fire comes out of it. I've got a metallic arm, and it's amazing, and it's all about them figuring out how to control them so that they can go on and live supposedly normal lives. Then the story zeroes in on Danny, who's new to the home. She's joined because she's just come out of a tragic incident. She's lost family, and now she's in this new facility, and she's trying to figure out what her powers are. She doesn't know what they are, but over the course of the film, she's going to discover what they are. Like I say, 13th and final film in the X-Men franchise, and yeah, it's about time. If you were to go back in X-Men history, for all you younguns who were you were born circa the year 2000. Year 2000 is when the first X-Men film came out, starring Hugh Jackman, Patrick Stewart, Sarah McKellen, and that film was great. You felt like it really revolutionized, revitalized what superhero films look like. They became less cheesy and they became more credible and really cool. X2 followed 3 years later. That was really good. And like anything that makes a ton of money, studios think, right, well, let's keep going, let's keep making these films. And then, unfortunately, there was a bit of a decline. So you had X-Men The Last Stand, which wasn't very good. You had some Wolverine movies which were okay. You had X-Men First Class, which was decent. You had X-Men Days of Future Past, which again was all right. You had Apocalypse, which was terrible. And then last year we had Dark Phoenix. And the annoying thing is, trailers always sell you. So I was sold on the trailer for Dark Phoenix, this story about Jean Grey. And it looks great, it looks brilliant. And I went to see it and I was disappointed. I'm thinking, why am I here again? I've been sold. So you get to this stage and you think, yes, X-Men films need to stop being made. I mean, Dark Phoenix, for example, you had Jennifer Lawrence and Michael Fassbender in it. And even they just looked like they didn't want to be there anymore. They were like, oh gosh, how many more films are we contracted to? So this time then, we've got another X-Men film. And the vibe, how it starts off, it feels a bit more independent. You don't have any of the cameos from the major X-Men that we've seen over the years. So it feels smaller. This origin story, and it's a nice idea. It's a nice idea. Just figuring out what these young people are about. But it's going to go the same way that all of the other X-Men films go. At the final, for the final third of the film, it's going to be CGI crazy. We're going to have explosions, and that is essentially what the film is going to be about. And that's how this film kind of feels. There's an attempt at backstory, just like every superhero film, where we get to try and figure out why the characters are like they are and how they got their powers. So we get a bit of a backstory investigation with various characters. I think Anya Taylor-Joy's character, she's got a hand puppet that she walks around with, and you're thinking that's a weird thing for a teenager to do. Who's doing that? But then when you delve into her backstory, you're thinking, oh, that's actually quite interesting. That's been well done. You've got other characters and you look at their backstories and it's kind of all right, but, it's nothing special. So, yeah, this film, like I say, we don't massively need any more heroes, but what I would say is it's all right. It's all right. I went and I enjoyed it. It's about 90 minutes in length. You leave your brain at the door. I think you can predict pretty much what happens. It's quite a generic superhero film, you are kind of thinking, is this film meant to be a horror? Because they've got slight horror elements. It's, you know, a few jump scares, and it's meant to make you be like, oh, what happened there? You know, is it meant to be just a young adult teen kind of film? Is it meant to be generic superhero? But none of it massively matters. I believe this film was meant to come out in 2017, but it's had reshoots, it's had re-edits, and, you know, the studios don't seem to be massively happy with it. So they say, we don't want it to be part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MCU. It's a standalone film, and that's how it feels. It feels like this film is about 3 years too late. Nevertheless, it is okay. What I would say to you is, if you want to see a really good X-Men film, if you haven't seen lots of the other X-Men films, watch Logan. For me, that is the standout. Logan, that was a good way to end these X-Men films, and yeah, Logan's brilliant, so go check out Logan. So my star rating for the New Mutants is, drumroll, 3 stars. So as always, I'd love to know what you thought of the film, if you've seen the film already. If you saw it, were you really engaged and you wanted the film to go even deeper? Or were you left thinking, I'm glad this franchise has finally met with the Grim Reaper? Did you love it and were you left wanting more, or could you just not wait to get the heck out of the door? Please leave a comment on this video, let us know what you thought of it. Please give this video a like and subscribe to this YouTube channel as well, so that you're notified when future film reviews and film discussion videos are released by my good self. Thanks for watching this video, I appreciate your time. Look forward to seeing you again in the future. Until next time, thanks for watching.